I have here a incomplete phase space diagram for a simple harmonic motion, and we're gonna sketch it. So let's go ahead and think about what's going on here. So I know I have a mass connected to a spring, and at x equals 0, there's 0 force. This doesn't start at x equals 0, though. And so from that, I get the following differential equation. I'm skipping over some steps here because I think we've done this before. So the second derivative of x with respect to time is negative k over mx. And yes, I'm using the notation x double dot is the second derivative of x with respect to time squared. That's the notation we use. So of course you could make a plot of position versus time. That's what you would like to do, position versus time. And it'd be some trig function like that. But another way to look at this problem, which is especially useful for damped oscillations and driven oscillations, is to use a phase space diagram. And some phase space diagrams are momentum versus position. This is velocity versus position. So this is velocity, x dot, velocity on the vertical axis, position on the horizontal axis. And so here's my axis right there. And so there's my origin. So there's my starting point, and I want to sketch the path that this is going to make. So let's just go ahead and write down. So this is at t equals 0. At t equals 0, then the x value is just going to be negative 0.2. The y value is going to be 1. It's not y, right? It's velocity. So what does this mean? Let's just sketch this really quick. Imagine here's my origin. So the mass is over here, negative 2, but it's moving that way. So if that's the case, it's going to move towards x equals 0. But what's going to happen to the velocity? The velocity is going to keep increasing in speed, right? Because the spring is pulling in the same direction. So it's going to start moving kind of like this. But I want to find out exactly what it's going to do. It's going to make some elliptical path, but I want to actually sketch out. I want to find where it's going to be where it's going to cross this axis and where it's going to cross this axis. And then I can sketch it out. So to do that, let's first think about, I could write an equation of motion for this. You could solve this differential equation. I have 3 solutions, but I'm going to pick one. I'm going to say x as a function of t equals a cosine omega t plus b sine omega t. And since I have at initial time of 0, I have neither x is 0 or v is 0, then neither a or b are going to be 0. But you want to think, what's going to be true along this point? Well, here is where x is equal to 0. So that means the velocity is going to be the maximum. This term represents, has some velocity in it, but I can let's go ahead and write down x dot, right? If I take the derivative of that, x dot as a function of t is negative a omega sine omega t plus b omega cosine omega t. But I can't find, unless I know a and b, I could find a and b, plug in, find the time when x is equal to 0, and then plug that in here and get x dot, and that would give me the location over here. Or I could use conservation of energy. So let's do that. So let's say that I have the system consisting of the spring. So 0 is the work done, and that's the change in kinetic energy plus the change in potential energy. So I could write this as any 2 points, k2 minus k1 plus u2 minus u1 equals 0. Now I can add k1 and u1 to both sides. I get k1 plus u1 is k2 plus u2. And that's the total energy. It's constant. In this case, because there's no work done on it. So I know at when it starts, x0 equals negative 0.2, v0 equals 1 from the graph. I also know k is equal to 4 newtons per meter, and m is 0.1 kilograms. I can find the total energy. So the total energy is going to be 1/2 m v0 squared plus 1/2 k x0 squared. This is my initial velocity to give me the initial kinetic energy. This is the initial spring potential energy, but that gives me the total energy. So let's do that. E equals 1/2. The mass is 0.1. The initial velocity is 1 squared plus 1/2 times 4 times the initial position of negative 0.2 squared. Okay, so right here I get 1 times 0.1 is 0.1. So that's going to be, that's 0.5. So this is going to be, let's just put it in my calculator. I don't want to make a mistake. I'm going to put it in my calculator. So here's my calculator. Clear. I can say 0.5 times 0.1 plus, that's going to be 2. Oops, messed up. 0.5 times 0.1, which yes, I can do. And that's going to be plus, did I say plus? Plus 2 times 0.2 squared. And I get negative 1.13. I'm sorry, 0.13 joules. So that's the total energy. Now I can use that for this graph. So what's true along this axis? If the particle is somewhere up here, its x value is 0. And if x is 0, then the kinetic energy is 0. So let's say this is 0.13 equals 1/2 m, I'm going to call it v1 squared, plus 0. So now I can find v1. I can find the velocity at the equilibrium point. So v1 is going to be 2 times 0.13 divided by the mass of, where did I put the mass? Oh, there it is, 0.1. And then take the square root. Okay, so what do I get right there? Clear. I get the square root of 2 times 0.13 divided by 0.1. And I get 1.6 meters per second. So if I go over here, I know that at x equals 0, then I get a speed of 1.6. So this is 1.5. So somewhere right about there. Now, I'm actually taking the square root. So this is actually plus or minus. So when it comes back down around here, it's going to be at negative 1.6 right down there. Now I need to find out the position when the velocity is equal to 0. So I can go back over here and get a new piece of paper. It still has the same total energy. So E equals 0.13 is 1/2 m times 0 squared plus 1/2 k x3 squared. So I'm going to call that position x3. Now I just need to solve for that. So I get x3 is going to be the square root of 0.13 times 2 divided by k, which was 4. And I get, let's put that in the calculator. Put it right here so you can see a little bit better. Not too much. Okay, clear. Square root 0.13 times 2 divided by 4. Close parenthesis. And I get 0.25 plus or minus. So if I go back over to my graph, I get 0.25 is right here, negative 0.25. So I get a pretty nice, it's almost circular. I mean, it looks circular. It has to go through that point too. But it's not really circular because these are different units in the vertical and the horizontal. This is meters per second and this is meters, so it doesn't really make sense. But yeah, it's going this way, right? So once it gets over here at the maximum x, now it's going to be moving to a smaller x value, but it's going to have a negative velocity, so that's down over here. And once it gets over here at back to 0, it's moving to the left, so it's going to it has a velocity to the left, negative velocity, so it's going to keep moving to the left, so it's over here. So that's how we get that curve. Okay, so let's go ahead and make this graph in Python and see how it looks just to check. So it'll be fun. So if I have this, x of t equals a cosine omega t plus b sine omega t, I need to find a and b. So let's do that really quick. So if I set x at 0, I know the position at time t equals 0 is, what did I say it was? Negative 0.2. Negative 0.2. And that's going to be equal to a times the cosine of 0, I'm going to put t in there, which is just 1, plus b times the sine of 0, which is 0. So that means that a is equal to negative 0.2. Then if I take the derivative of this function, I get x dot as a function of t is negative a omega sine omega t plus b omega cosine omega t. And if I do that at x equals 0, I get this term is going to go away. If I put t equals 0, that term's gone. And I get plus b omega times 1. So b is going to be equal, and this is equal to v0. So b is equal to v0 over omega. Did I say what omega was? Well, if you solve this, this is a solution to the differential equation only if omega is the square root of k over m. So I need to find omega, I need to find b, I need to find a. A is easy. B, this is going to be equal to the square root of k, which is 4, divided by 0.1. So 4 divided by 0.1 is 40, and that's not a perfect square. So clear. I don't have to do that. I have b, I have omega, I have a. They're all just numbers. Okay, so let's jump over to Python. Let's plot this thing. I'm going to first make a position time plot, and then I'm going to use that to make a phase space plot, just to see that it is indeed working. Okay, jumping over here to Python. So I will give you the code for this. This is trinket.io. It's web-v-python. That's what I like to call it. So let's just go ahead and start off with the graph. G1 equals graph. And I'm not going to put any parameters in there because I'm going to change that later. Actually, I'm going to put the width. Width equals 400. Height equals 250. And, you know, if you're like, I don't know how to make a graph in Python, I have a tutorial on that. Ask me questions in the comments below, and I will answer your questions if I can. Unless it's like a year later, and then I forget what I made the video about, and I don't really answer them. So let's make a graph. F1 equals G curve. Color equals color.blue. I'm going to say dot equals true. So dot equals true when it draws it, it's going to actually make a dot. Now I'm going to put in all my constants. M equals 0.1. This should be a little bit bigger. M is 0.1. K is 4. Then I can say omega, which I'm going to use as W, is square root of k over m. If you're using normal Python, if you're not using web-v-python, you can't do the square root. It's not built in. Okay, web-v-python imports all those things, so you already have them, so we don't have to do that. So I'm just making a comment. Now I can say x0 equals negative 0.2, v0 equals 1, a equals x0, b equals v0 divided by omega. Okay, now I'm going to model this, say t equals 0, dt equals 0.01. So I'm going to break it into time steps. And each step I'm going to plot a point on the graph. So let's do this for 3 seconds while t is less than 3. Now I'm going to say something useful. I'm going to put in here rate 100. So this tells Python to only do 100 loops every second. And if I only do 100 loops every second with a 1/100th of a second time interval, it'll run in real time. So it'll take 3 seconds. You can change this. You can make it slower. You can make it faster. It doesn't really matter. So now I'm going to calculate my x value. X equals a times cosine omega t plus b times sine omega t. Now I need to calculate the velocity. I'll call it x dot. X dot, I'm not going to plot that right away, but I'm going to calculate it. It's going to be equal to negative a times omega times sine omega times t plus b times omega times cosine omega times t. Now I want to plot x as a function of time first, and then we'll make the phase space plot. So let's go ahead and plot that. So I'm going to say f1.plot. My x coordinate is going to be t, my y coordinate is going to be x. Now I'm going to increase the value of t, or it'll run forever. And that's that. Let's see if this sucker runs. Okay, so yes, it does run. I didn't put any labels in there, but it does give me a trig function. I am confident in my solution. I'm confident things are working. So now let's make this a phase space plot. So I'm going to make these both 400 by 400. I'm going to give it a title just for fun. Title equals phase space quote x title is going to be just x. Y title is going to be equal to y. That's all true. All I need to do is change this. Instead of plotting x versus t versus x, I'm going to do x versus x dot, and it should work. And it'll animate it too, which is really kind of nice. And there you go. Okay, so here we had this is 1.6. That's what I calculated. This is 2.5. That's what I calculated. So it agrees. Now let me just show you one quick tip here. If you want to make a cool phase space diagram, you don't want it to scale like that. I can fix that, right? Because this is going to go from negative 0.25 to 0.25 and 1.6 to negative 1.6. So up here, let's just put those in there. I'm going to say x min equals, what did I just say it was? Negative 0.25. Let's say negative 0.3, x max equals 0.3. Y min is that right? Negative 1.6. So let's say negative 1.7. Y max equals 1.7. And then it'll scale the graph for me. It won't auto scale because I put those in there. That looks nice. And there's your phase space plot. Again, if you want to make it change the way it looks, you can just change the scaling, right? And it'll shape it because it's not real space. It's not x versus y. It's x versus velocity. Ew. Why does it say y? That's not y. X dot. Sorry. That's better. Okay. So code down below. Any other videos I might think are useful will be down below. Hopefully you find that helpful. I'll talk to you later.